What's up, y'all? I hope everybody out there is doing well. So before we get started, I just want to thank each and every one of you for clicking on this video to give it a watch. I appreciate the continued support. So with that said, let's go ahead and get down on this video. And I want to talk about some devastating news that broke out of Oklahoma. So if you guys don't know, there was a TikToker by the name of Sarah Duffy who goes by Sarah Gilson online. And basically she found out that her husband was a PDF file. And so a couple of weeks ago, she took to TikTok and she actually posted this. Now, apparently, the Netflix documentary seems to be a bit of a trend that's going down on TikTok, and everybody is using it and saying what their documentary is going to be about. And she chose to talk about the fact that her documentary was going to be about exposing her husband. But sadly, 2 weeks after this post, Jeremiah Sean Duffy broke into the home that they used to share together and basically deleted her and deleted himself. You know, taking the coward way out. But anyway, what I'm going to do right here is turn your attention to a couple of videos that are talking about this situation in its entirety, and then I'll be back to give you my thoughts on this.
The woman who made that video was murdered last night in Oklahoma by her husband, who she was accusing of being a pedo. And after he murdered her, he took his own life. So this is Sean Duffy. That's the name that he went by on social media. And according to the allegations that I've seen so far in relation to this case, he was a pedo. As you can see up there, Sean actually had a pretty big following on social media. He had 350,000 or so followers. And Sarah, his wife, also posted consistently online and had a following of her own. Unfortunately, though, it seems that in June, Sarah discovered something dark about her husband. According to some of the allegations that I've seen so far, Sean was a high school sports coach, and he was allegedly caught making out with a student of his. I believe the student was 14 years old, and according to reports, the police were building a case against him. And obviously, after Sarah found this out, she immediately filed for divorce and filed for a protective order. Now, this is a sad reality of living here in America. You can file for a protective order, you can ask for protection, you can bring all of these allegations to the authorities, but it seems a lot of times like they just don't care enough to actually protect the people that need protection. And unfortunately, last night, Sean broke into the couple's former home, murdered Sarah in cold blood, and then ended his own life. This truly was a despicable man who went out in the most despicable way possible. And this just goes to show that coming forward with allegations against somebody obviously is never easy, but it can oftentimes be very dangerous. And that's why it's become one of my life missions to always listen to, believe survivors, and help them share their stories, because unfortunately sometimes these stories have tragic endings. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this situation. This is a truly horrific and heartbreaking story, and the actions of this guy, Sean, can only be described as truly despicable.
This man was caught being a pedophile, and then he took the cowardly way out. Last night, a well-known TikToker his wife and then took his own life. This was on Thursday, July 23rd in Oswego, Oklahoma. According to reports, police officers responded to a domestic call last night at around 11:15 p.m. It was said a juvenile living inside the home called 911. This was the woman's son, the wife's son, and it was said unfortunately he witnessed the shooting. When officers arrived, they reportedly found a man and then a woman who was already deceased from twins. The couple has since been identified by their loved ones as Sean and Sarah Duffy. Reportedly, Sean's legal name is actually Jeremiah, but he went by Sean or Duff Daddy on TikTok, where he had nearly 400,000 followers. Sarah also created content as well. According to reports, Sean broke into the home last night, Sarah, and then he took his own life. Luckily, the child inside the home who called 911 was not hurt. Now, reportedly, Sarah had recently filed a protective order against Sean last month in June. She claimed that Sean was caught kissing a on one of the basketball teams that he coached. He was a basketball coach. As I said, he coached the child, and I'm hearing it was a very young age 13 or 14, but I can't confirm that. It was definitely a The protective order that was filed last month claimed that when Sean was confronted about the incident with the he threatened to take his own life, and then he went on the run. He allegedly said he was not going to jail. It was also said the mother of the he allegedly kissed also filed a protective order against him as well. The mom further claimed that Sean was paying her daughter to keep quiet and to not discuss his inappropriate messages and actions towards the girl. Unbelievable. In fact, back on July 11th of this year, Sarah posted a TikTok, as you see in this picture here. She was doing that viral My Netflix documentary trend, and she said she was preparing for when Netflix drops a documentary about her soon-to-be ex-husband, who she found out was a pedo. According to reports, Sarah leaves behind 2 children from a previous marriage. She was reportedly a hairstylist in the town. This is so sad and so very cowardly of Sean. Now justice can't be served and a completely innocent life was taken, all because he got caught. My prayers go out to all who knew and loved them both.
The number one offender type is biological fathers, but by far it is being done by middle-aged Caucasian men. Many, over half of them, college graduates. It's time that we call them out. We can't stand by and stand back. Like, we have to stand up. Not only are we not doing our job as men, it's actually the opposite. Instead of being defenders and protectors of our families, we're hurting in a...
This is just beyond sad and atrocious. I feel so sorry for the 2 kids that she left behind that weren't even his, by the way, and one of them actually witnessed him committing this crime. It's just sad. And I will say this, if I'm going to keep it real, I don't think it was a smart move for her to come on TikTok and join the Netflix trend and actually threaten to put the information out. I don't know if she was going to put it out, but the fact that you did that and he's on TikTok and he's watching your page and you just recently filed another protective order against him, you knew that there could be a chance that he would react in a way that would be woefully uncivilized, hence the fact of why you went and got the protective order. Then on top of that, you and that man used to share the same residence, and then you're gonna post that on TikTok? That's some shit that you do when you're long gone without a trace. Just think about it, you're still residing in the marital home. And I just don't think it was a smart move. I don't want to beat her down. Of course not. She should have been protected to the 10th power. It sucks that this happened to her, but they were already building a case against this man. He sees the walls caving in on him and his credibility moving forward is forever destroyed. And I don't know what made her think that she would be exempt from being harmed, especially when you post a TikTok that threatens to highlight your ex-husband to be past demonic transgressions. But anyway, let's move along, and I briefly want to talk about Katy Perry and Donald Trump because Katy went off on Trump. She just strongly condemned Donald Trump in the White House for using her 2010 hit song Firework without her permission. Now, the White House official TikTok account posted a video that synchronized the song's lyrics, Boom Boom Boom, with footage of U.S. military strikes against Iran, accompanied by the caption, Iran has been warned. And this is what Katy Perry posted. I am deeply appalled and angry to see Firework used on the White House TikTok account as a backing track for video footage of military strikes. I did not approve this, I was not asked, and I absolutely do not condone it. I wrote this song to be an anthem of hope, healing, and inner strength for people going through their darkest personal moments. To see a message of self-worth and upliftment weaponized to soundtrack destruction and violence is a complete violation of everything my song stands for. My music is for bringing people together, not celebrating warfare. Now, what's interesting about this dynamic is the fact that people were quick to point out that Katy Perry does not have a say-so if the White House decides to use her music because she sold her entire catalog back in September of 2023 for $225 million. And so in that sense, it's kind of preposterous that you would get on the internet and say that you weren't asked if the White House could use your song because you don't own the rights anymore, right? Now, I know that Katy knows that she can't do anything about it because she sold her catalog, but where I think Katy was coming from is that she was just reassuring her fans and people that follow her that she wasn't a part of it and that she has nothing to do with this administration whatsoever. Katy Perry has always spoken out against Donald Trump and his antics. Now, up until this point, Donald Trump has not responded to Katy Perry, but if he does, it's going to be along the lines of, she's stupid, she's not that smart. You know, the typical things that they say about women, especially women of color. But I believe that he is going to respond. His ego will not let him sit back and not respond to what Katy Perry had to say. But anyway, this has caused a rift on social media between the left and the right. They're going back and forth. and things of that nature as expected. So, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna close the video right here, and I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that was discussed. I'm wishing you guys a beautiful Sunday and continue to be blessed.